Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live feed from me, Mr. Philly. Today, I am going to share with you. Well, this is more of a concept cooking. Today, I'm going to share with you how to properly cook steak in a cast iron pan. Well, with any pan for that matter. So many people make mistakes when they cook steak in a cast iron pan because steak in a pan is actually very simple to make, but it's so easy to overcook it or undercook it or whatever. But I'm going to share with you the cast iron pan method, which is very basic. And today I'm just using, basic sirloin or a bottom run. I'm not exactly sure which one it was. We got our cast iron pan simmering over there. So first, seasoning. Seasoning, I use the traditional, and I like to keep it pretty basic. That depends on the day and depends on what type of steak I'm making. Steak is just so easy to make, and it's probably one of the most second popular dishes in the world. But you can season it however you want. So I'm just gonna do salt and pepper, and you can be pretty generous with your salt and pepper. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to make sure it's seasoned properly, and a generous amount of that to taste. And you can use whatever other seasoning you want if you have other seasonings, but I recommend not adding too much of any other seasoning besides salt and pepper, just because steak has a juicy flavor in general, and I feel like too much of any other seasoning outside salt and pepper kind of overtakes it. But that's completely up to you. If you like your steak with a bunch of seasonings, then spices, go for it. Anyway, so we're just gonna properly season our steak with our salt and pepper, and we're just waiting for our pan to simmer over there. All right. There we go. So we got our steak all properly seasoned. Hello, Edwin. How are you? Thanks for the subscription, Edwin. I really appreciate it. All right, so now we got our steak all seasoned and everything, seasoned with salt and pepper. And hello, Alan, and hello, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. How you doing tonight? Oh, before we go any further, I'm going to ask, how's everybody doing tonight? I got 4 people online, so. That's great. Anything going on? Anything fun plans? Any fun plans to go or for the weekend? I am just cooking steak, just a basic steak. I'm gonna show you guys how what kind of seasoning or what I add to my steak to make it taste good. Hi, Paul. All right. Hello, Robbie. So anyway, moving on. So cast iron pan versus like a regular stainless steel pan when it comes to cooking steak. Cast iron pan is the better method to go. Other than grilling, most people would agree grilling your steak is the best flavor. But cast iron pan is the second best thing. A cast iron pan is always better, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it retains a lot more heat, and it's easier to evenly coat it with whatever butter or oil that you're using. So anyway, all right. So I think our pan is heated up really well to a good point. So we're about to grab our steak and grab the camera and head you guys over there and then throw it on the pan. All right, give me a second. Let me grab the camera here. There we go. I guess that's a good angle. All right. About to grab the steak. Oh, let me go put you guys. All right. Now, first we're gonna add. Now you're gonna add oil. Traditionally, that's what you would add, but I'm just using butter today, and our pan is set at a high heat. And this is where people make a lot of mistakes, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. Let me grab a fork. Now you really want to make sure that your pan is has a lot of oil or whatever butter you're using, to help coat the pan evenly. because there's just so much heat on it, and that's really going to help later ensure flavor. So we're just using butter today. Hope everybody can see me. It's a little dark. I don't know where my light camera is, or my light LED light. All right. I'm just frying up a steak here, just pretty basic, but I'm just gonna share with you a method. This is just method cooking, how to cook a steak in a cast iron pan. I seasoned it with salt and pepper. Yes, I did. Sorry, I just need to wipe that camera off. It was driving me nuts. All right, so now we're about to add the steak really quick. There we go. And this is the part where a lot of people make the mistake, actually. So you're supposed to turn your heat really high to, well, a pretty high level. And when you cook steak properly, I mean, not necessarily for like regular sirloin or anything. Well, actually for any steak, really. You're supposed to hold it up, actually, for 30 seconds on the outer edges like this, actually. So yeah, just like that. And a lot of people don't always do that. That good sizzle, yeah, absolutely. And we got it at a high setting, so yeah, and it should cook within, just hold it, on each end for like 30 seconds. And that's where the people then make the mistake. They don't actually cook on the outside of the edges. So that way, the inside is cooked so fast and the outside is not, all where the fat is and everything. So yeah, you want to hold it in a good sear on each side. So that is the biggest misconception, And a cast iron pan, it's really good at getting the job done. So yeah, it's getting that good flavor and getting that good sear on each side. So that's really what it is, searing. All right. I think we're gonna hold it for a minute because I don't think it's as hot as it should be. All right, 30 more seconds. We're about to flip it over to the other side to get the other side seared. And you have to be very, very careful because, with the heat and everything, because, steak really doesn't take that long to cook. I mean, like I said, it's just, the biggest thing is just making sure the outside is seared really well. And the middle part, you can cook that on a low setting because it will cook pretty fast, actually. Just literally 3 minutes aside, honestly. It has to be on the best setting. All right, now we're gonna flip that over. All right, I think we got a good sear on that side. Medium rare. I'm just cooking the sides so I get a good sear on it. And that's the best way to cook it. Now, some people like it well done, that's fine. If you like it well done, then hey, you can cook it a little longer. There we go. All right. Now we just turn it down. And that's the other biggest misconception a lot of people don't do. Turn it down to a lot lower level. And honestly, you can put it on medium to a low medium, honestly. Because it's not really going to take that long to cook after that. Because that's like pretty much 80% of the battle. Making sure both sides are seared really, really well. So yeah. And that's pretty much it. And for the finishing touches, I'm going to show you the marinade that I use. And marinade is something you use before you throw it in the pan. But what I actually like to use, and I recommend this for everybody, or anybody that likes steak, soy sauce. I'm going to add some soy sauce to this. Soy sauce is to die for. So yeah. But I pour it in after it's pretty much done or to my liking. So anyway, so we're just gonna wait 2 minutes and we're gonna give this flip. All right, give me a minute. Yes, soy sauce is amazing. I think that's just my opinion. Hey, do what you want, but yeah. I recommend adding soy sauce. I don't think you will regret it. All right, so I'll give this 2 minutes. Let me go grab my drink real quick. All right, I think it's about time to flip. All right, so we're gonna take that and we're gonna give that a good flip. Oh yeah, that looks great. Oh yeah, that's well cooked over there. Okay. All right. And now we just give that another 3 minutes and that bad boy should be done. Well, I'm gonna cut into it first actually. You should always cut into it before you take it off the pan. That's a good thing that you can do. All right. Or you can cut into it. Oh, a little too in the middle, but yeah, just got it. Turn the heat down a little bit. All right, the outside's definitely cooked, but needs to cook a little bit more on the inside. Sorry, I'm just trying to wipe the screen off. I mean, it looks so filmy, so I just had to wipe it off again. Hi, besties. How you doing? There we go. Perfect. Can't go wrong with steak. Steak is probably my second favorite food in the world, besides pizza. Food that I can't live without. Steak and pizza. Oh yeah. Oh, that's looking great. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. All right, I think steak is ready to get off, and then give it a try. All right, about to take the steak off the pan here. There we go. All right. I'm sorry, it was a little dark over here. I just couldn't find my LED light tonight, so yeah, I'm sorry it was a little bit dark. But anyway, I'm about to move you guys really quick. There's gonna be a little bit more light, and then I'm gonna bring the steak over and I'm gonna try it. Oh crap. Now this is something that I should have done when it was still in the pan, but what I like to add, soy sauce. Soy sauce is, oh, amazing. Oh, there we go. You should add this when it's still in the pan though, but anyway. So, soy sauce, delicious. All right, I'm gonna cut into it and show you guys how well of a job I feel like I did. All right, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. I think there's got some good pink in the middle right there. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Oh yeah. All right, let's give it a try. Mm. Mm. Oh, perfect. Medium rare on the inside, and then maybe I think I've left it on the sides a little too long, little overcooked on the outside, but that's it. But the inside's perfect actually. And the reason why I use soy sauce because I feel like it just gives such a similar flavor to like steak sauce. Honestly, it's a darker sauce, so yeah. So anyway, that is a good idea how you would cook steak on a pan. You know, sear the sides, make sure they have a good sear, and then turn the heat down, and then 3 minutes on each side. That's pretty much it. And soy sauce on steak, I recommend trying it. You will not regret it. So anyway, and this is pretty delicious. 5 stars all day. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. That's all we have for today. Have a good night. You won't regret it.